Hello, everyone. The announcements say good morning, but I'm going to say good afternoon. Michael, welcome to today's meditation practice. Anybody here for the first time? Welcome, Ronnie. We have a few announcements before we get started. If you haven't already, please remember to silence your cell phones and put them away so you can be fully present for the talk and the meditation. If you must use your phone, please do so outside the meditation hall. We invite you to join us for our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha practice at 6 p.m. and our public talk at 7 p.m. Next week for our Tuesday evening talk, Geshe Phende will continue speaking on the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., the Drepung and Loseling monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life and for other teachers. Our weekly Thursday Protector Puja at 4:30 p.m. is canceled due to another event scheduled here, which you'll hear about shortly. Our popular 5-class foundation series concludes May 16th with Refuge, Entering the Path of Inner Transformation. This one-day retreat via Zoom focuses on the significance of refuge, which is the entrance to the Buddhist practice. This series is a prereq for the intermediate series and for other retreats. We're very excited to announce that today, Simon & Schuster released Engaged Compassion by our founder and spiritual director, Geshe Lobsang Tenzin Negi. This Sunday, May 17th, Geshe Lobsang La will lead our 11 a.m. meditation session, and we invite you to join us for a reception and book signing at noon. Books are available in the gift shop and online. Geshe Phende will lead Drepung and Loseling Monastery's annual Yongye retreat from May 29th through June 1st. Yongye is a powerful practice for purification and the accumulation of positive energy based on Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of compassion. It's open only to those who have received the 1,000-arm Avalokiteshvara empowerment or any highest yoga tantra empowerment. As part of Sakadawa, Geshe Ngawang Phende will also give a one-day Mahayana precepts on Sunday, May 31st, that entails maintaining 8 vows beginning at 5 a.m. until sunrise the next morning. This event is open to any who have taken refuge and will last approximately 1 hour. You do not need to attend the Yongye retreat to participate. As a reminder, on the weekends in particular, please not park along the grass or the driveway behind the building. You can find additional parking up in the parking lot behind the school and just walk right down the hill. Information on all events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If you're interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library, and you can also register online. There's a donation box near the entrance to this room. Your generous support helps us to continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online programs. Now, if you would please stand as we invite our resident teacher, Geshe Phende, to come in for this evening's practice.
Okay, we're going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. So during the recitation, the mantra of Heart Sutra, it's important always reminding you to meditate on emptiness. Right? That's the most difficult, meditation, but the most powerful meditation, the emptiness. But this philosophy is not just easy to understand. You need to, study philosophy. But it is really important. So, who knows the emptiness? So then you can meditate on selflessness first, emptiness of the person, oneself, then emptiness of also the perception, the mind emptiness. So the mind who is meditating on emptiness, that mind itself is also empty of inherent existence, right? So that's kind of the important. So we're going to recite the mantra with meditate on emptiness. Taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha taya tha gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhisoha. Now next is the four immeasurables, called the immeasurable love, compassion, joyfulness, and equanimity. So when we recite this prayer, I was reminding you, it's not just prayer, only. It's the purpose of that prayer is to feel, experience. That's called meditate, right? When we say, may all beings have happiness, right? First line, it's called the love. So just saying all beings have happiness is easy, right? Out of anger, you can say these things, right? That's not the main point. It's mainly here when you say, may all beings have happiness, that means from your heart you sincerely wish every beings, including the people you don't like them, right? You sincerely wish them to have happiness. That's called the love. May they be free from suffering. It's called compassion. So you have to feel from your heart, you really, really wish every beings, including animals or any beings, right? You wish them to be free from suffering. So each of these 4 lines of the prayer, when recited, you have to, same time, you have to be experienced, you have to feel from your heart. That's called the mental reflection meditation. You reflect behind the meaning of the prayer and you feel it. So that's the why, reciting this prayer. It's mainly for meditate, to feel. So we're going to recite the 4 imaginable prayers 3 times together. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Now next is the mandala offering. So when we recite mandala, which means the universe, so we offer universe to the teacher, and mainly you are requesting from the Buddhist tradition. Without request, you're not allowed to teach. So that is why this is symbolism. You're offering the universe to the teacher and requesting, please teach me. And the purpose of learning, this important, the Dharma or the doctrines, is to overcome one's own ignorance, one's own distracted emotions. And also, if Mahayana practitioner, then to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood oneself, for sake of all beings. That is why I need to practice, therefore I need to learn, called bodhicitta, right, awakening mind. So that intention, during the mandala offering, you need to set up bodhicitta intention. Oi sai shi pi ki joy shi ai me ai to tama ri ra ba li shi ni ai de ge ba ti Sanje Shinto Me Te Pu Waye Doi Kuye Nama Dai Shin La Chöye Pa Sho Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamne Yatayami. So today, the text we're teaching here is called the 37 Practices of Bodhisattva by Geshe Togme Zangpo. So one of the famous teacher during the 13th century, not only very scholar, it's also great practitioners, who achieved all of this realization, which we're going to talk about. So very humble, very scholar, and what you call very compassionate, warm-heartedness, the master called Togme Zangpo. So today we are practice number 14. So we are in number 14 practice. So this text is the main subject, on this text is called bodhicitta, mentioned earlier, right? The bodhicitta, there are two different types of the bodhicitta called conventional bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta. The conventional bodhicitta means, mentioned earlier, seeking oneself to achieve Buddhahood, enlightenment, for sake of all beings. So this bodhicitta, which is based on love and compassion to entire beings. So this is one part of the practice, which is called one is wisdom aspect of the path, one is called a method aspect of the path. Method, which means like a heart, right? Wisdom is like a brain. So always we need both. Just only methods without wisdom, also not successful. Sometimes make lots of mistakes. But only wisdom, lack of method, sometimes big trouble, big problems, right? Even the today modern education, very smart, but not good heart, big problem, right? These people can create big problem in this world. The people who brings these nuclear bombs, right? Atom bomb, can kill millions of people within the second. They are very smart, but heart is not good. So it creates all this danger in this world. So same time, the people who are not very good educated, they can harm little things. But who are really smart, they can harm huge, big. They know how to harm them. So without warm-heartedness, just only, wisdom, intelligence, sometimes big problems, right? That's the wisdom alone is not enough. Now, but very good methods, heart's very good, but not intelligent, no smart. Then what? You really want to help to others, but you do not know how to help them. Then it didn't work. It's not success, right? Some people, they have very good heart, but they do not know how to help them, how to benefit. So lack of education, lack of experience, even having very good heart, not that much benefit. So you need both, right? Hearts and brain, both. Similarly, in Mahayana practice also, which is called method aspect, which is bodhicitta, compassion, love, right? Patience, tolerance, forgiveness, all of these practice for the beginner, which is called renunciation practice, right? A renunciation. All of these parts of the practice are the part of the method aspect of the practice. Among their variety aspect of the method aspect of the practice there, one of the top and the best method is bodhicitta. Not only feel compassion, above there, you take full self-responsibility. I will going to save them, entire beings. That kind of methods they have, wish to save others. But just only wish to save others is not enough, right? How to save them? So in order to save others, in order to help others, first I need myself to achieve enlightenment, Buddhahood. Then I can able to help to others, right? If you are fall down into the mud, how can you save others from the mud, right? You have to come out, then you pull out other beings. Similarly, in order to help to entire beings, save others, right, from the samsara, from the suffering, first oneself come out from the samsara, liberation, to achieve Buddhahood. Then you can able to save others. So bodhicitta means awakening mind, means the mind who's not only wish them to help, wish to save them, it's also looking oneself to become enlightened beings, to achieve Buddhahood, enlightenment. The purpose of achieving enlightenment is to benefit to all beings. It's 100% altruism. Altruistic mind is seeking 100% to benefit to others. So that's the bodhicitta. It's the one of the top of the method aspect of the practice, right? So that's the one of the main subject of these texts. Then another one is the wisdom, like brain, right? Wisdom, there are many different types of the wisdom around there, but one of the highest level of wisdom, which means one of the highest level of education, the knowledge is understanding the ultimate reality of all phenomena, understanding all the phenomena, right? Ultimate reality, ultimate truth. So that called wisdom of emptiness, the ultimate bodhicitta. So that's among the hundreds of different types of the knowledge, the wisdom we have, but the top knowledge is wisdom of emptiness. Can comes later more explanation why this is top, why this is important. It is very much, relative to understanding the fundamental causes of suffering, right, which are called mental afflictions. Among the thousands of mental afflictions around there, what is the main root causes of all the mental afflictions? Mind of self-grasping, right? So in order to overcome mind of self-grasping, only the ultimate bodhicitta, which the wisdom who understanding the ultimate truth, that's only the wisdom can antidote to that mind of self-grasping, which means the mind who grasp, who apprehending the object completely wrong, mistake, right? But this is really, really difficult to understand. That is why we need to study philosophy. Without study philosophy, without understanding the philosophy, we'll never ever become successful. Your practice never become a success without understanding the philosophy. That's why the philosophy is really important. When you're understanding the philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, it helps to so many different types of the practice. All the practice, practice which doesn't mean, I bow to the Buddha, I offering to the Buddha, I recite the mantra, I recite the sutra. Not only that, these are just surface things. These are the not main thing. Practice means to change your mind. That's the main practice. All our problem, suffering today, because of our mind has something problem. Our mind, where the things seeing, where the things we believing, it's something wrong, mistake. We don't know that, right? To change this wrong perception into valid cognition, right perception, how should we do? We need to know what is the truth, what is the right. In order to know that, you need to understand the philosophy. Philosophy helps you to understand what is the truth. Our eye sense consciousness, in this moment, in our eye sense consciousness, have not capable to see many things there, subtle, we call hidden phenomena. We cannot see our ordinary eye sense consciousness. So to see the reality, we study the philosophy. Can see many things behind there, right? For instance, this flower, when you look at like from this eye, see something beautiful things there, right? Then you put the glasses, powerful glasses, you see completely different things there. All these particles, right? More powerful glass, you put it there, you see more things there. All these particles, they're moving, all kind of things we don't see before these things. Many things there. Now even the glass, not enough to see there are some kind of hidden phenomena. Right? These hidden phenomena, we need to find it out through philosophy, through logic. So logics and philosophy have to go together. Without logic, philosophy will not that much. Right? Without philosophy and the logic alone, it's just academic. So have to go both together to understanding what is the ultimate truth. So that is why the wisdom, the ultimate bodhicitta, is one of that. Future will come detail. So these are the two, the main subject of this textbook which we are studying. So to achieve the bodhicitta, like to develop, to achieve bodhicitta, it's not easy. There are many steps you have to go before that. That's why this text talking about all these variety different steps, right? All the way till bodhicitta. Now after when you have bodhicitta, when you achieved it, but if you not carefully take it, it may decline, right? It may change, declining. So what kind of obstacle can destroy your bodhicitta, your compassion, your love? There's no any external enemy there. Others cannot do this. Who will destroy your compassion, your love to entire beings? Your anger, your hatred, your self-centered attitudes, your attachments, these destructive emotion, right, which is called mental afflictions, are the only can destroy your compassion, your love, your bodhicitta, nothing else. So enemy is not out there. Enemy is within your mind. So we need to learn when we encounter with unfortunate situation. That is how ordinary people, these destructive emotions wake up, right? When you encounter with some unfortunate situation, then what? Result of that, it's increase your anger, your hatreds. And that anger, what they're going to do? It destroys your compassion to them. It destroys your love to other beings. So you put so much effort to learn, to achieve, then who will destroy it? Finally, your angers. So how should we protect our compassion, our love, right? How should we protect when we encounter with this unfortunate situation, specific in this generation time, right? It's much easier, to increase this destructive emotion. It's much easier compared with the, maybe 19th century, 20th century, not that much, 21st century. It's more fragile for the practice. It's much easier to feel because of the technology and all kinds of things today we have. So you don't need to go there. You just sit with this little iPad or your phone. You can feel so much angry. You can feel so much attached. You can feel so much jealousy. Even there's no people there. You live yourself solitary in your home. You can still feel anger, hatred, attachment, greed, all of them, right? Through looking all this information. So it's much easier. So how should we protect our love and compassion? That's called mind training in Tibetan, Lojong, right? Mind training. So that's why here, 14 practice, the practice number 14, is also one part of mind training today, right? So each day we're learning only one stanza, we're learning only one, right? Each Tuesday evening. So it's very important, even just simple one stanza, but you can apply to any field where you live. Very useful. So today's stanza 14. Gashik tala menye natsopa tongsum kyabra tokpar chenayang jambe semje larya tiniji yundun chopa Geshe lagleyins. That's in Tibetan. So I'm reciting one in Tibetan for as a Buddhist tradition, which called the oral transmission blessing. So I received this teaching from His Holiness. That's why this is part of its oral transmission. Now in English, even if someone broadcasts all kinds of unpleasant remarks about you throughout the 3,000 worlds, 3,000 worlds is not just world, it's general, it means all over the universe, it's just called 3,000 worlds. In return, with a loving mind, speak of his good qualities. This is the practice of Bodhisattvas. So the Bodhisattvas, when someone broadcasts all kinds of unpleasant remarks, rumor about you, right? It's broadcasting. They put in social media about you all negative information, right? In ordinary people, we feel really angry, we fight to them, all kinds of things we're going to do. But the Bodhisattva, those practitioners, for them, they feel more love to those people who try to destroy you, who try to make rumor about you. They feel more love to them. That's how they call, in return, with a loving mind, speak of his good quality. So instead of criticizing them, instead of using harsh words towards them, they talk about good things about this guy. In the return, the good things. That's the practice of Bodhisattva. So what is this message? What that mean? So first thing is, somebody, when they, like for instance, they put something bad things about you in social media, right? They spread all over now. Everybody's your friends and the families, and everybody knows now, all these things. So, and because of that, most of the ordinary people feel really upset, right? Some people feel depression even, ended up with the depressions. And many people feel so much fear, so much worry, right? Cannot sleep. They can become like that way. And too much anger toward the guy who create these problems, right? Feels so much. So his whole day, that person is suffer mentally, right? Pain, stress, depressions, fear, upon their emotional feeling, too much anger, hatreds, suffer. So now, here, first question is, why you have so much suffering about that, right? Why you suffer? In general, people answer very easily, because he put very bad things about me in social media, right? That's the way we always think. I suffer because of that. That's the main thing. But actually, this is the not main causes. That's how you need to learn that. This is not the main causes of your suffering. Main causes of suffering is your attachment towards your reputation, your fame. So usually we have, countless of attachments about so many things, but mainly there are three things. We attach to the foods, right? That's the one common, oftenly attached to the food. Then attached to your dress, nice, beautiful dress that's every day, right? Then not only dress, now your possessions, what you have, my decoration, my home, my this, now this is the one type of attachment. There's one attachment called attachment to your reputation, your fame. So three different types of the attachments. Among these three attachments, usually it is saying most difficult part to get rid of attachment is attached to the reputation, fame. It's more difficult compared with the other two attachments. It is saying, for instance, even what you call as a Buddhist, many practitioner is called the solitary. They go to the rural area, solitary, and high mountains, right? Whole life, staying on the mountain and practice. So they kind of get rid of all these mundane things. So they can give up food. They eat very simple food there, right? They can give up all the possessions, whatever, dress or whatever furniture, whatever, they can give up because they live in the little cave there, nothing, like a wild animals. So these two they can give up. Third one, still difficult. Even you living on the top of the mountain, you can also having attached to your reputation. It is saying, our senior masters quite oftenly, most difficult part is to give up your fame and reputation. Because even you stay there, you give up food, you live with a very simple life, but you still have attached. Or the villager down there, the villager thinking about me. I'm the great master who's staying on this top of the mountains. So you still have this attached to your fame and reputation. It's more difficult to get rid of that. So similarly, in our ordinary life, one of the difficulty part is attached to your reputation. Your family reputation, your homes, yourself, that's in the society. We live there, we always try to protect your own fame and reputation, right? Everything you're doing is for sake of make sure in my society, make sure they all, can think about I'm the good person, I'm the famous, I'm blah, blah, blah. So you're so much scared about your fame and reputation. So therefore, the person who are very much attached to their reputation, because of that attachment, when they put bad things into the social media, that creates them so much fear, so much embarrassing. Then depression. Some people ended up with a depression about this. Just somebody put something bad things to the Facebook or whatever the social media, right? They put it there. And after things go here, there, your friends and societies, they know that. Then after you feel so much embarrassing, fear, worry, right? Then angry. So these kind of pain, inside the pain, main causes is your own attach to your reputation. That's why that pain comes. Otherwise, if you really don't have any attach to your fame, then somebody say you are stupid, put it into your social media, this guy is stupid guy. You don't care, right? Because the person says stupid doesn't mean you become a stupid, right? You're not going to become a that way. Just saying, just simple empty word, just saying that, put it into there, you have so much fear and worry. Why? That's showing you have so much attached to your own reputation. That's why the fundamental causes of that pain, right, the depression or whatever you pain, it's your own attachment. You attach to your fame and reputation. That's why your main enemy is your attachment. Therefore, bodhisattvas, because the people who put this thing into social media and all, everywhere, all over the world, is spread all over the world, right? Then you have this pain, and the bodhisattvas understanding, it helps me to understand my attachment is how bad it is. And understanding I still have attached to my reputation. Otherwise, the person, when they don't say anything, I don't know I have attached to my fame and reputation. Then my attachment will constantly destroying me. Because of the person say bad things, I feel pain. That means I realizing, I seeing, now I have attached to my reputation, my fame. That's why I have this pain. So this guy helps me to recognize my enemy. This guy helps me to understand, to see my enemy. Without this guy, I may not still seeing that. I have these attachment issues. Through that reason, I love to this guy because of he helps me to recognizing my attachment, right? Therefore, I praise to this guy. Even how bad things to tell me, I praise them. He is like my teacher, like a doctor, right? When you go general checkup to your doctor, right? Then your doctor diagnoses you have something life-threatening disease, very early age and early. Recognize that. When you found that disease, you really appreciate the doctor. You can treat them. Otherwise, it may late, that disease will become very dangerous, right? Eventually, you cannot treat that disease. It will take over you. So, because my doctor, we diagnose this Therefore, we apply the treatment and fixes that. So you appreciate to the doctor. You're not going to feel angry to the doctor, right? When the doctor found you the disease, the illness, you will not going to hate to the doctor, right? You feel appreciate because of him. It helps me, diagnose or recognize my illness. Now I can apply the treatment. Exactly same like that. Because of the person who, create this problem, it helps me to recognizing my attachment to my fame and reputations. So that illness, because of that guy, I recognize. Therefore, I apply the treatment and deal with this attachment. Therefore, I really appreciate to this person. I appreciate. That's why I love them. Therefore, when you love them, you always praise them, saying good things towards them, right? You never say bad things. That's called this practice 14, right? Even if someone broadcasts all kinds of unpleasant remarks about you throughout the 3,000 world, throughout all over the universe, right? All over the universe. In return, with a loving mind. So in return, instead of with anger, say in return, with a loving mind, speak of his good qualities, right? Talk about this guy, his good qualities. This is the practice of bodhisattvas. So these are the practice where the bodhisattvas saying completely different way. For us, this when you say somebody put very bad things into social media, we say, oh, this is very unfortunate situation, right? We feel depressed, we feel all kind of things. But for the bodhisattva, this unfortunate situation is fortunate for them, right? So unfortunate situation convert, right? Transform into the path of enlightenment, means the path of love, compassion, right? The path of enlightenment, Buddhahood. So that's how it's called the transforming blame into the path to enlightenment, this practice. So therefore now, as ordinary people like us, it's very difficult to do this practice, right? And at least to learn this and look for these bodhisattvas, those masters doing these kind of practice. So I appreciate to them. I'm seeing them as like they are like my role model, right? My inspiration. So I always try to look them. I will try to do this practice, right? That's how you learning, from them. These are the practice they do. I always appreciate. I always feel, gratitude towards this practitioner. So I was looking them as my role model. That's how you learning. Then slowly, small things when you encounter, right? Somebody say, maybe only you, when they say stupid, you may have little angry, not that much. Front of many people, when they say you are stupid, you may feel more angry, right? Even the same word, right? Saying the same guy, just tell you alone, say you are stupid, or saying this stupid front of many people, all the co-workers, everybody together there, they tell you you are stupid. And that words, much deeper pain, right? More angry, more pain. Why? Your attachment on your reputation. Because front of people, when they say you are stupid, it's because of your reputation, right? Your fame is going bad. That's why you'll feel more angry. That's why you'll feel more pain inside there. So that pain is not only pointing to this guy who say that. That pain is mainly from here, your attachment towards your own fame and reputation. That's how we need to understand. We need to learn that, see that way. And this is true. You know, even your boss, there may be 10 workers there, right? Everybody makes something mistake, then boss becomes so angry, come out in front of all the workers, telling you all are stupid now. Right? And he's shouting all kind of things he say. Each those 10 people have different feeling. Some of employee, they feel so much pain, so much suffering. Some people, maybe not that much. Even the same word to tell to all of them, the guy is the same guy, same time, say everything exactly the same, but how much it hurts you, it depends on how much attachment you have to your fame and reputation, how much anger arises after that. So the person who feels so much angry to the big boss, so much pain, so much hurts you. The person who feels little angry, little hurts. Person who feels nothing angry, I understand. Boss is thinking about whatever their company or their income, their money is concerned. If I put my feet into his shoes, I also feel that same way. I have a responsibility. So you're looking from different angle. I understand. I don't need to feel angry. That everybody can say these things. So when you look this, when you not feel that much angry, it didn't hurt that much, right? It's your mind, which way you look it. So that showing, the main conclusion is, who really hurting you? It's your anger, your destructive emotion. These the emotion. When you encounter with any situation, how heavy destructive emotion arises after that situation. If they become very heavy, strong, destructive emotion arise, it hurts so badly. If you have little problem. If you don't feel any negative thoughts, emotion, it didn't hurt you anything. Nothing. So that is how we should understand the real causes of our suffering is our own mental affliction. We are not saying external things nothing to do. Of course, these external things are the part of conditions, but they are not the root causes. So even external condition arises. If you completely control your emotion, if you really suppress, right, your emotion, even condition arises, will not going to hurt you. But this inside the emotion, when they become too strong, then it starts really big problems. So therefore, your own destructive emotion are the main causes of your pain. External things are causes. They are cooperated causes called condition, just as a condition. That means condition arises without causes, no result. Pain will not arise. Therefore, here mind training practice. These practice are condition you cannot change. It's already there, right? People put it into the social media, it's gone now. It's everywhere all over the world. There's nothing to control there. So it's out of your control, right? You cannot control it. But that doesn't mean because of that I will going to be suffer now. Same. Suffering you can change. Suffering you can stop because fundamental causes is there. That's in your hand. That you can change it, which is your destructive emotion. Right? Your anger, you can control it. Your attachment, you can control it. If you able to control your anger after that situation, right? Through your meditation, if you really suppress them, even external condition there will not that much bothers you, not that much affect you. So, how bad pain you have from the Buddhist perspective, all of those sufferings are changeable, curable. So the many people who don't understanding the psychology, right, the mind, how they're working, then when you encounter with the external problems, so that I mentioned earlier, most of the external condition, it's out of your control. You cannot change these things. So people feel hopeless. After when you have pain, you feel hopeless. Now I will be suffer. There's no way to overcome these sufferings. Because you're thinking my suffering is because of this situation, only because of this external situation. That's why you feel hopeless. But then hopeless feeling is not good. Hopeless feeling makes you inner weakness, right? You become weaker and weaker, internal weakness. When you inner weakness, when you become really weak internally, then everything will be fall down, lose everything. You will go to lose. So that's why sometimes when they feel, very much internal weakness, hopeless, then some people, they don't want this suffering. They feel hopeless, no solution. So only the way is commit suicide. That's why they're killing themselves. Otherwise, who like to kill themselves? Right? Even little animals, look at in like a little river. When you throw the stone in that river, all these little fish, they will run away, hide it, right? Like a little ants, when you touch it, it run. It's showing this even little insect do not want to die. They're scared for death. So they are run away to hide it, right? Nobody wants it. So why they ended up with this? Unfortunate. Because of this feeling of hopeless, right? It makes that. So these thing is mentioned. If you understanding the psychology, your mental afflictions are the one who creating most of these problems. Not only external condition. External conditions are the part of that. But even you cannot control change there, but the pain, fear, worry you have, you can still change that when you change your destructive emotions, which are the fundamental causes, right? Then that kind of believed, it's not just you tell them and believe it. That's why I mentioned earlier, we need to study philosophy, psychologists. So this knowledge helps you. The pain coming from where? It gives you hope, gives you completely different idea to solve your problems, right? In general, when we say everything happy means we're always looking at external things. For instance, to make happy, sometimes people spending so much money to make big party, right? You spend so much money to create this beautiful big party. It's mainly for happiness, right? Whole family, whole friends comes gathering, good relation, happy. So you spend so much money to make all these things. Then eventually, during the party, you party, then you drink, then you're drunk, then slowly your behavior is changing now, right? Within the party, then fighting, right? Eventually they fight at each other. Then after the party, all their friends and families become divided. They become enemy each other. So it looks like your party, you make this party for make enemy each other. Ended up there. That quite often people have these issues, right? So these external things either go this way, either go that way. Even that same situation go right side or wrong side. It's your mind, how you handle it. If the mind is on the negative side, even good things can create you more problems, turn into big problems. If your mind is very good position, right position, even unfortunate situation, right? Bad situation can become a causes of unity, harmony, brings all together. That's the mind. So mind is the one who make this decision, not only external condition. So that is why, just making party and all kind of arranging doesn't mean it creates you unity, harmony, families. That doesn't mean that. There are many simple family, no party, they live with a very simple, but they are very harmony, helping, supporting each others. Some, there are lots of party, all kind of things there. The real family, no harmony, it's jealous each other. Mentally, they want to destroy that family. Externally, comes there and talk, it's called two faces. Right? Two faces type of life. So the mind is the one who creating, all these issues. Therefore, here this stanza 14th, it's mainly whatever difficult situation you fall to people, specific in today, 21st century, right? The century of this social media. Today, our lifestyle, everybody has potential to create the problems, right? You put it one little information in social media, within the minutes, it goes to 1,000 people can see, right? That's the today's situation. So we cannot change these things. That's how it is, right? Now, how should we live still happy in this kind of lifestyle? During this kind of situation, how should oneself still remain happy, safe each other, right? That's how these stanza. So understanding, if you really control your emotion, discipline your mind, right? To suppress each of these destructive emotion, then external condition, whatever unfortunate things arises, will not that much hurts you, will not that much creates you problem. If your mind is so fragile, undisciplined, all these emotions, anger, hatred, undisciplined, then your life becomes so fragile, so danger. Even small things, when they change it, it creates you straight directly, hurts you, harms you. Therefore, bodhisattvas, they're recognizing enemy is not external the person. Your enemy is your mental affliction. So therefore, to get rid of that anger, right? Don't give chance to your anger. What should you do? Love to them. The person you angry, feel angry, if you try to love to that person, that love, what they're going to do, it can suppress your anger. That's all. There's nothing, any other solution, right? If you know my anger is the one, now it's hurting me, creating too much problem, I need to stop this. I need the medicine to cure my anger. What kind of medicine I need? I need love to that person. So if I able to feel love to that person, my anger toward that person will change, right? Therefore here he say, in return with a loving mind. In return with a loving mind, speak on his good quality. So when you're able to do that, no problem. Even the person says so bad things, put it into social media, all kind of things. If their return to them is out of loving mind, right? Sincerely love to that person, then your action return is become good, right? So when you act that way, you have no problem. Your mind still remain very calm, very peaceful, no problems, right? I mentioned many times your pets, right? Your pets, dogs and cats there, you just tell them, oh, stupid dog, stupid dog. That dog's never feel angry. It's not going to hurt. He maybe like it. He maybe put, tails are moving here, they are coming to you. Actually, you're telling him stupid, right? But the person, you tell them, human beings, say, oh, stupid human being, may really hurt him so badly. Then the person who have too much ego, too much arrogance, right? Those persons, when you say stupid, oh, that may be more hurting them, more difficult, right? More pain. So its word is the same. These people have no problem. These animals have no problem. This guy has so much big problem, right? That's showing inside their ego, their anger, their attachment. These emotions are the one who are creating this problem. That is why for the practitioner understanding on these things, then in return of this situation when somebody say bad things to either front of the people or in the social media or behind, most of the time the behind, right? Behind there's a blah 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 is all we're going to tell. So when you hear this, somebody, your friend may say, oh, no, there's some people saying blah, blah to you, right? In that moment, you may feel hurt you, right? Uncomfortable. In that moment, when you feel that, diagnose, oh, why? I have this pain. Then when you look deeper level, because I attach to my reputation, right? I feel angry to these people. My attachment to reputation leads anger. Actually, attachment and anger are two opposite. But attachment can lead anger very easily. They are very friendly each other. Friendly means supporting each other. If I so much attached to this mug, right? Somebody, when they break it down or steal, I may feel so much angry, right? If I do not have any attached to this mug, somebody, when they break it down, says, oh, throw it in garbage. No problem. Don't feel any angry. Why? You don't have any attached, right? So that's showing attachment is the one who leads the anger. Then when you feel angry, it hurts you. Makes you fear, worries. So therefore, when you hear somebody, in behind you, somebody saying blah, 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 as soon as when you feel kind of not happy, right, it hurts you, then you look just few seconds, right, just keep your calm mind and look at, not only look, who's saying this, who's this guy, instead of checking there, who is there to creating me problem? Or my attached to my reputation, right? Recognizing. Or I still have attached to my fame, my reputation, even myself as called Buddhist, follower of the Buddha, or practicing Buddha Dharma. But my enemy is still there, it didn't change, right? So, this attachment is the one who creating. Because of those people say behind me, they helps me to recognize my attachment to my fame and reputation. Therefore, I really appreciate to them. We respect to the Buddha, right? We really appreciate to the Buddha. Why? Because he helping us to understand what are the causes of your problem, how to fix this problem. Right? All this knowledge we receive from Buddha. That's why We appreciate it. Doesn't mean, oh, we believe, or what you call faith because of blessing me or something. This is very little things, right? Main thing is why we respect is because of the many knowledge, huge helping us to deal with our problem. This knowledge we learn from him, that's why respect, right? Same, so those troublemakers who creating all these problems, because of them, it's really give us good lesson to understanding. Even myself saying, oh, I'm meditating, I'm doing, practice many years, this, but I'm not still seeing attachment still there. It didn't change it. So these people, the kindness of helping me to recognizing my attachment, my anger. Therefore, I really sincerely appreciate to love to them. That's why my return for them is praise to them, not put it down, praise to them, right? That's how we need to apply the practice, this practice. So, during 1 week, till next Tuesday, and this week you should try it, right? These are always, every day they have. Anybody that talks something behind you, either directly you, either social media, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you don't need to know each other. Just people see from the eye, they can say something. People can say all these kind of things. Sometimes out of attachment, out of jealousy, angry or anything, they can come, so who knows, right? So when these people are saying that, oh yes, now when you hear, oh, I learned this practice, so today I really try to apply that. So then when you really try it, at that first time, if you're able to do that, if you really not feel any anger to this guy, instead of love, oh, that gives you tremendous joy, pleasure. That happiness, much more bigger happiness than somebody give you $1,000 or $100,000. Really, when you're really able to apply that practice in your situation, very different types of the joy, the bliss. Even after finish that few weeks, when you remember that, that gives you some kind of, again, rejoicing. We call rejoice. Again, that feeling. So that's why these practices are very, very relevant in our day-to-day life. Specific 21st century, it's the century of social media. It's everywhere. It's out of control. We cannot control it. They can say good things. They can say bad things. So what we need to do, when they praise you, don't need to be too much exciting. Even they tell you you are Buddha, doesn't mean you become a Buddha. You are the same person. Even they say you are the devil, doesn't mean you become a devil. Right? That's the empty word. There's nothing big deal. So you just, when they say the Buddha or great teacher or great master, oh, I'm feeling exciting. That's attachment. Then somebody behind, they say something bad things, too much pain. Right? If you're not that much exciting, when they say put it down there, no problem. So your mind always remain balanced. In the society, there's so much waves, good things, bad things everywhere, but you control your mind, you remain with the middle way, in that mindset. Whatever they say, it's not going to hurt you. Point is, you always remain very calm and happy, peace, very stable practitioner. Then your compassion, your bodhicitta will never decline. It's becoming stronger and stronger, right? That's how these mind training practice are really powerful, really effective, and only the thing is you need, in the traditional what they're doing, they're memorizing this, each one stanza. I teach these texts only one stanza for each Tuesday, right? Just one stanza, because what you learn in that 1 week, you remember this one stanza, memorizing, and you use it in your day-to-day life. When tomorrow you go to the work, it starts. Sometime tonight when you go back to the home, maybe family will chat to you saying this or that. It's all this there. It's waiting us there, right? So now you take this stanza as your weapon and you apply in your thinking. Okay, I learned this. So all these people say that, or this person, I apply this now to make sure my emotion remain calm. Don't give any chance to anger, any attachment. Even external condition arises, if you control there, right, then it's nothing to do with this external condition. If you keep the seed, don't put it into the farm, in the land, then water, soil, whatever things there, it never grow there. Seed, you hold it, right? When seed is there, then it grow. So if you control your mind, whatever external condition arises, it will never brings any mental problems. That's why, remember these stanzas to learn how to control my mind, how to discipline my mind, right? That's when you apply to your day-to-day life, then it's when you have difficult situation, you can finally able to do that. First, apply to the small things, that just small rumors or whatever. The family dramas always there are. So these things, you try to use these things, even small things. Then in future, if there's big things when they come, you can able to utilize this. So that's why this stanza is really useful and very relevant with our day-to-day life. So it's very, what you call, is very useful. Therefore, you need to practice. You need to use it. Practice means use this, right? Think and apply, and always remember, morning you go to the work, just before that, look this stanza again. Make a little note or in your phone, put it this stanza. So as soon as somebody's saying something, you feel like that, look at this stanza again, think about. It really helps you. Okay, so we're going to stop here now. Finally, our conclusion. So we first reciting the mantra of compassion, right? And then after meditate on Tonglen, the giving and taking, right? This prayer. So then finally, dedication. Om mani padme hum. 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 And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Hoi te nai ji tu lai mai tu ji che mai tu to ve ti to nge Mahaluyata Dalai Miyampa Dai Ki Te Ki Shin La Dai Wai Troi Kuyin De Deayam bara chinji loy toy kente ta deayam bara chinji lo chanju semcho rinpoche ma kepa nam kejuj keba nyamba mepa yang kone kongdo pewa sho. May the precious and sublime bodhicitta not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. Okay, thank you.